public, there is an obvious odor of mold and mildew if you're standing in the area immediately outside of the Bonton. On the second floor, there's a dance studio that caters primarily to children who has tenant space on both sides of the Bonton. In requesting, the mall to voluntarily perform air quality testing, not surprisingly, the answer was no. However, they did indicate they were willing to consign a consent form to allow us to do that on their behalf. Just to be clear, mold is not regulated by any local, state, or federal agency, but it would tie into the bigger picture of these are all the public health concerns because of all of the issues with the Bonton and the mall overall remaining open. Where I think we're headed with this is this would be a piece into eventually filing for an injunction to close the mall and force them to make repairs.
And we find out whether respective buyer has done any mold testing?
They have not. They are nowhere close to that.
So it's our concern that people are in there that might be,
Exposed to it,
okay, so why don't we just shut it down and be done with it?
because it's not regulated by any
We need
local,
proof.
Yeah,
state.
We don't have that.
We don't have grounds to do it on.
So the health department would have grounds or not?
No,
Health
The-
department.
the mold study is not gonna help us close it down because there are no standards, right?
Oh, well, if there's no
So
standard,
then what's the point?
Because it goes towards the overall bigger picture. I don't think Phyllis has it, but I had SSM come in and do an air quality mold test at Borough Hall last year. And it's pretty self-explanatory when you look at it. Here's everything we found, here's how severe it is, here's the exposure risk, and here's what you need to do to remediate it.
What do we gain by spending $2,000 to do it, to find out that it's mold all over the place, and then we can't do anything with the
We
results?
can though, we can add it to our argument when we file for an injunction as to why the overall property should be condemned.
why would you wanna do that?
The mold is the product of other issues that are subject to regulation by the borough, namely the leaking roof. And, so I believe that and we are working on this enforcement process for the other deficiencies. So I believe the evidence of an unhealthy air quality condition because of mold will support our effort to get an injunction to force them to either repair the roof or to shut it down.
What does that do to Boscov's?
Boscov's would be fine, they can
Yeah,
stand alone.
Boscov's is on its own island.
And will remain there.
So we talked about the New York guys that own this, and you guys that bought it, or didn't buy it?
Nobody's
Don't
bought
want
it.
New York boys own it.
Namdar owns
Okay.
the mall.
All right, we were told mold was sold.
No, we were told it's under
We
agreement.
never told that.
There's an
What were we
agreement.
told?
But there's an agreement.
A letter of intent.
For 18 months to do due
Okay,
diligence.
okay, well, how does that affect the agreement?
There's no agreement, it's a letter of intent.
All right, how does it affect the letter of intent?
It doesn't, other than
We're not privy to the letter of intent.
if the mall would eventually be condemned and shut down, that the current owner is forced to make repairs. From what the equitable owner that is under agreement has told me, that might actually benefit them because the mall has, current owner has, requirements in the leases with their tenants, they have to remain open, they have to do certain things. So those tenants might be more willing to get out of their leases sooner if something happens.
In discussions that I had with EPA and the Department of Health, the representative for this area, EPA said that they are strictly deal with air quality on the outside. They do nothing on an interior of the structure. Department of Health said they will only regulate it as far as the food court goes, and they could close down the food court. That is all.
So there's
They have no authority to do the rest of the mall.
there's no OSHA regulations or Pennsylvania?
There is no OSHA regulation.
Not for mold.
That's hard to believe.
If you get the air quality tests, who's the authority that shuts it down?
It would be through an injunction, so it would be court
Through
ordered.
a court case, so you'd have to convince a judge to give enough evidence to say,
this would be supporting,
Multiple other
the
issues.
leaking of the roof is deteriorating the structure. And because of the water in the building, we have the mold issue. So my position would be that the judge should give us an injunction to shut down the mall or to give a deadline for them to repair the roof because there are consequences, namely air quality issues.
So $2,000 you should do it.
It's-
Bolsters your case to get something done.
That's what I'm getting at. We don't
If
directly
that's
go
gonna help,
after.
if it's gonna help the case.
I'll make a motion that you spend the $2,000 for air quality.
Second.
So when you move for the injunction, how many other tenants are in there that have nothing to do with dancing at the mall and having mold? Are there plenty of them over there that are shutting down?
I'm sure a lot of them have mold.
There-
My neighbors walk
I'm
into
just
some of
saying,
the
if
stores
there's-
with buckets.
How many tenants are in there now, operating?
Collecting.
Roughly 40.
40, so we're gonna shut down 40, or is the injunction gonna just pertain to?
There's still 40.
It's gonna shut down the mall, except,
It would shut
except
down
for
the-
Roscoe's,
the-
which has its own,
All right, we'll shut down 40 people that
Now,
have
one
a
of the-
business over there.
what are you gonna do?
Not
I'm more
shut down-
concerned about a person's health.
All right, well, maybe we
Well,
can
yeah.
specify the
All right, all right.
injunction.
We're voting on doing the test, we're not voting on doing anything
All
else.
right, so we'll have to vote to
So,
do the injunction.
so the motion's been made, the second, all those in favor of ordering the test?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Just to note that
Now we can figure out what to do.
Encore Senior Expo is scheduled to be at the mall in October. And you're gonna have 2,000 elderly people walking down
Too bad,
aisles of
too
mall.
bad, let's throw them out.
Well, they've
That's
already
actually
started making contingencies.
that's
because
scary for other
people are
reasons.
Trying to save their lives.
Does that,
That's scary for other reasons.
it is,
Yeah.
the one gal at one of our companies is on one of the committees, and she said they toured the mall yesterday, but I just texted her, she didn't hear what the results were. But they met with the manager over there to solidify or look for plan B for the senior expo. That probably draws 2,000 people, they're probably all.
Not
Dave's
young.
age.
Well done.
Dave's age.
Dave's
So we,
and that's
so
more
we're-
like it.
So we're approving the molding testing. Okay, now we can go back to the street sweeper.
Yes.
Drum roll.
It's on a Freightliner chassis. The chassis has a 3-year warranty from the time of delivery, which is typical of new or this demo.
Time delivered to us.
Delivery to us, yes. The Timco is the brand name, so the chassis is a Freightliner. The equipment that they put on it is a 1-year Timco warranty. And there's a John Deere motor that drives, it's not the truck motor, that John Deere motor drives the vacuum and the suction for the sweeper. That is a 5-year John Deere warranty.
Are the 5-year and 1 year from delivery to us?
Yes, it's all the same.
Sounds like a good goal.
That's for the new one, all for the new one.
This is for the demo.
Oh, for the demo.
And the actual, just to be exact, the actual cost is $332,900, and that does include the trade-in.
And that's the same warranty whether it's a new one or a
Yes.
demo. So that answers the question.
There's one little drawback. He says they have some demos scheduled. I didn't know this, and we might not be able to take delivery until sometime in early September for some commitments they have. But he would try to get out of those if he could. It's the only demo unit they have.
Okay, so we're satisfied now with the terms of the, this is gonna make the budget look even worse than it's gonna look already by the end of the year. But we're gonna make, I promise you, $332,000 is already out of the budget for 2025.
On this
Or
demo,
some
are these
derivative
pieces of
thereof.
the demo customary put together, or they just lying around in the shop?
No, we've already, when we were looking,
So you gotta
3
go
months
through
ago,
this.
we demoed this demo.
They got Christians in, probably.
Okay, so we have a motion, do we have a motion for, to go ahead and purchase the demo?
So moved.
Second.
Oh,
Right, we have a motion and a second, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, keep us clean, hey, don't be afraid to get that thing moving now when it gets here.
Thank you very much.
And then we are going back to topic number 8, of which I will now hand the gavel over to the vice chair. Keith, you can run the meeting as soon as I walk out the door. Yeah, okay. Let me know, just let me know either way.
It's not really important.
No, okay. Correct.
Thanks, Steve.
Have a good one. Thanks, sorry the meeting took so long.
Your coat.
That was your fault.
Glasses?
I don't need 'em. I got a couple
They're on your
pairs.
It's on your head.
Thanks.
Go ahead, Michelle.
So we currently use Loomis as our insurance broker. They have left a lot to be desired. We have, repeatedly had issues when trying to get clarifications with some workers' comp issues or other just general claim issues. Stuff that we relay to them is important. We need an answer sooner than later. It's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and we're still following up. So based off of that, Melissa and I, over the past few months, met with both EHD and Tompkins. Our recommendation after meeting with both of them is EHD. They have a laundry list of municipal clients that they represent, including Spring Township, Wyomissing Area School District. I've reached out to multiple of their references, glowing reviews, at least from the ones in Berks County that I talked to, not that I talked to any outside of Berks County that weren't. So the request would be to switch and use EHD, including for the 2025 renewal process, which we would need to start pretty soon.
I just want to be clear, do we have any kind of a contract with Loomis?
So you could do this year yet and move it forward.
As soon as this would be approved by council, I would be calling Zach at EHD to let him know we're ready to move forward, and then also would be making a phone call to Jim Crick at Loomis to let him know we're done at the end of the year.
When are our current policies renewing?
All January 25.
Would there be a difference in fees, or do you know that? Switching?
Not significantly. I mean, I think if anything, one of the benefits to switching is broader range of carriers that would be interested in shopping us. And staff assistance, when we have issues with specific claims or we need somebody to interject with the adjuster, a much cleaner process.
If you're not getting service, regardless what
I
you're
mean, Loomis is obviously a bigger company than DHD.
Yes, but I think that's a drawback in this case, not a benefit.
Would you be asking HG for a written contract?
I would prefer that we're not stuck with anyone if we don't have to be, for the simple fact of,
Well, but then how you going to know what they're charging us, what services they're providing to us without something written?
Wait, I didn't hear you.
I asked whether we're going to get a written contract with the HD, and Michelle said she preferred not to, which makes no sense to me. I would wanna know what we're obligated to pay, I would wanna know what services we're obligated to provide.
Is that spelled out?
hold on,
We don't make payments to the agents.
just
We
the
make
carrier.
Payments to the carriers for the insurance.
for the insurance policies.
The borough doesn't make payments
So
to.
they just
Oh,
do shopping, they
okay,
just do shopping.
okay.
They should
So
have
I'd like
policies.
so I'd like to ask a question.
Basically, customer service.
Sorry, she was talking about service.
Right. I'd like to ask a question about the earlier discussion we had about PFM, where we were talking about having someone else come in and see what the other side's doing. Why aren't we having 3 or 4 insurance companies come in here and tell us what they want to do, and get out of that, rather than just say.
That's what you did, right?
That's what we did, that's what
Well,
they
he-
did.
well, he said-
We're sitting here
Well, they
talking
did
about-
their due
Now, wait a minute.
diligence.
Let me just finish. We just said PFM, we should bring somebody in and talk to them. Now, do we
No,
think
you
we
were,
can?
you and I were the only ones that talked.
All right, but if we thought, I thought it was a good idea, I still think it is, we're not away from it either. But now we're saying, we don't wanna have anything to do with the insurance, let Michelle figure it out and tell us which one to go with. Why is there no difference between us looking at insurance companies versus?
Well, who's gonna do it, us?
Well,
What
if
do
we're
we
gonna-
know to do it?
If we're, if we
It's just
can,
like- it's just
if we
like you
can
said.
ask to have PFM, we bring somebody else in that they do, are we so smart that we know what they're doing? I know more about insurance than I know about what PFM does, that's for sure. But if we're gonna delegate the PFM to another and another to see which one we like, then it seems to me we should be able to pick insurance companies to answer questions like Janet just answered or asked about them and what rates they charge and how it works. That's how you do a review.
I'd like to think we have, you know, we hired these people at the end of the table, okay, based on their knowledge and performance and expertise in municipal management. I would like to think this falls under that realm and that they're the ones that they have to deal with the insurance companies on a daily basis, okay? So we take their recommendation. They've explored what's out there. They've talked to other municipalities. What more do we need? What are we gonna bring to the table that they can't already?
I think our job in this borough, and we hire personnel, whether it's Chris, who we did an evaluation with at one point, we had 5 different law firms in here. I could pick one myself, but we had all the people that were on council decide who to pick.
That's not the issue.
It is, it's the same thing. What's the difference between Chris?
It's just like you
and
said
insurance
about,
company?
you wanted to interview all the firefighters, you wanted to interview all the police officers. What qualifications do we have in doing that? Or
We're the
candidates, I
people
should say.
hiring these people. That's what qualifications we have.
I will say that in this case, I'm satisfied that Michelle has looked at now a total of 3 options, including the status quo. She's checked references, so I don't feel a need to look at more, because she's done that work for us.
I think we should.
And there's
be
no
doing our
fees
job.
paid to the
I'll make a motion
agents.
that we go with the borough
I was
manager's
thinking about the
recommendation
services, not-
and have it passed on to council.
Second.
All those in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot I was doing this. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Not at night.
Ayes have it. I think that was it, right?
So soon.
Unless anybody else has anything, we'll
Please, God, no.
call the meeting adjourned.
Good job.
Hey,
Nice.
I forgot.
Could you take these, would that